Right, this morning I'm trying a recipe that's completely made up. I got the idea. I follow on YouTube. I follow a channel called Food Wishes, which is not a vegan channel. Oh, the cat. The cat's here. Get away. He's not a vegan channel, but I follow him anyway. And his latest video is on butter bread. And I reckon I can veganise the recipe, right? He's got lots of eggs in it. He's got butter in it. I'm trying to ignore the cat. I'm trying to ignore the cat. Get out! You may never see this video. If it goes completely wrong, then I'm not going to be posting this video. But bear with me, and I will talk you through. Right, so first of all, I need to put my dry ingredients in a bowl. So I'm using chickpea flour. So I'm gonna call this recipe, I'm gonna call it chickpea bread. It will become clear why. So chickpea flour is great. It can be used as an egg replacer in itself. So I'm using chickpea flour in part to replace the eggs, or specifically to replace the egg yolks that Food Wishes recipe was. He used 6 eggs, yolks and whites. So of course I'm not going to even contemplate using eggs because I am veganising this recipe. Right, so I've got my chickpea flour in my bowl. I've put about 1.5 cups in there. So I'm also going to put some baking powder. This is just normal baking powder. I'm going to put 2 teaspoons in, 2 heaped teaspoons. I'm going to give it as much chance to rise and bubble and do its bread thing. Not going to do yeast. It's more like a cake really. It's kind of a cross between a bread and a cake. Right, and then I'm going to put just a pinch of salt, about a teaspoon of salt. I don't use a lot of salt in cooking. Right, so this is, at the moment, this is exactly as Food Wishes did it, except for he used almond flour instead of chickpea flour. His idea was to, I'll link the bread, I'll link the recipe in the description, just so anybody can have a look at it. But his idea was to produce a bread that was very, very low in carbs. I'm not interested in that. I'm happy with carbs. I just wanted to see whether I could do something similar. Right. As I'm not having eggs in it, I'm going to use a banana as a binder. The chickpea flour will bind it anyway, but I'm giving it all the chance it can get. Right, so I've got my ingredients here. So 1.5 cups of chickpea flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoonful of salt. And now I'm going to start putting my wet ingredients in. So what I've got here is around 1/4 cup, just under 1/4 cup, melted in the microwave of vegan margarine. So this obviously replaces butter. So that's in. I'm using Vitalite. I'm using as little kind of fat as I can get away with really. So there's under 1/4 cup of margarine in there. And I'm going to put my banana in. It's a very, very ripe banana. We need it very ripe because we want it to mush. So I'm just going to mix that around a little. I'm going to whisk it shortly, so things could get messy. Right, now this is my ultimate secret ingredient. Right, I've already part whisked this, but this is another reason why I'm going to call this recipe chickpea bread, because this is chickpea water, aquafaba. I don't know if I've pronounced that right. Can you see it? There we go. I've part whisked this. I'm going to whisk it a little bit more. What I want is for it to, it's not quite mixed enough yet. And this is just the water that you get out of the can. A can of chickpeas. I've not wasted the chickpeas. The chickpeas are in the fridge. I'm going to make some hummus with the chickpeas. And you whisk it. Whisk it. This is a couple of minutes. This is a couple of minutes of a whisk, but it needs a little bit more. What I want it to do is to produce something that's not quite as stiff as a meringue consistency, but it's just, you know, it holds its own. It holds its own. Right, so I'm going to whisk it with my hand whisk. You can see now that it's much firmer. That's much better. Okay. So what you can see is, I don't know where the camera is on this. It's much firmer now. That's about what I want. And this replaces the egg white. So the chickpea flour and the banana replace the egg yolk. And the chickpea water replaces the egg white. And this can be used in mousses, meringues, in vegan cooking. It's a well-known egg white replacer. I'm going to mix in some of it. I'm going to mix it in kind of very slowly, a little bit at a time. As I said, it's not really a bread. It's more. I'm going to bake it in a bread tin, but it's not got yeast in it. It's more like a cake, but it's going to cut like a bread. Hopefully. Hopefully. Like I said, I've just literally watched the video a day or two ago and thought, I can veganise that. So, like I said, it could go badly wrong. Right, I'm just going to fold in, because I don't want to lose the air bubbles from the whites, from our egg white replacer. I don't know what it's going to taste like. It tastes rubbish. We'll see. And Food Wishes use 6 eggs, 6 yolks, 6 whites. I think that the water from 1 can of average sized chickpeas is going to be about 6 egg whites, maybe. I'm never precise with these things, but about 3 tablespoons of this stuff replaces 1 egg. So, I haven't measured it. I never measure these things. We'll see how it goes. Right. So that's all my water in. I'm going to give it a good mix. I want to make sure that the banana's mixed in. I don't want to mix it vigorously though, because I want to retain the air bubbles. Right, this is just a small waffling. I don't know how much this is going to rise. It's filled the bottom. Could have done maybe with a bit more mixture, but we'll see. So I've just put a bit of greaseproof paper in the bottom. There we go. So it's very yellow, but that's the chickpea flour. There we go. So I'm going to put that in the oven for about 30 minutes. That's how long Food Wishes left his loaf. But I am going to keep an eye on it because it's obviously different ingredients in this thing. Just going to scrape a bit more mixture. There we go. Right, I'm going to put that in the oven. I put it on 170. Mine's an electric oven. I don't know what 170 is in gas, I'm sorry. Right. I'll be back soon. I'll be back soon. I've got flour on my, something on my chin. Right, I'll be back soon. And here it is, guys. Literally chickpea flour, the water out of this 1 can of chickpeas, a banana, a little bit of margarine, a little bit of baking powder, a little bit of salt, and that's what it produced. That is fantastic. To check it's ready, just stick a knife in or a fork in or a cocktail stick in. If it comes out clean, it's done. That was in the oven for about 20 minutes. Okay, I just kept checking it, and that looks done to me. I'm not going to try and cut it yet until it's cool. I'm going to take it out of its container and let it cool down, and then I will taste it. Yes! Yes! Oh, so it's now a few moments later. I've let this cool down a little bit, and I'm going to taste it. I must say it smells delicious. It smells a bit like banana bread, but given that there's a banana in there, you would kind of think there would be a bit of a banana taste. Okay, right. Ooh. Light's not great in here. Look at that. Look at that. That is beautiful. Looks lovely. Definitely tastes of banana. Lovely. Nice with jam on. Nice with cheese on. And you can't taste the chickpeas at all. But it's very fluffy. And it really is a cross between a cake and a bread. Success!